Welcome friends to the all-new 2026 Nissan Sentra. We obviously have a lot to talk about here, but if you stay tuned until the end of this video, I will be sharing with you how you can save 13% off the MSRP on pretty much every new 2025 Nissan vehicle. All right, let's get started here. So of course, this fully redesigned Sentra, we have a brand new exterior. Personally, I am a huge fan of the way this new Sentra looks. Comment below, let me know your thoughts. The front end, it's supposed to mimic that all-new Murano, but the rear end looks like the outgoing Honda Accord, which is fine, but overall, nice, aggressive package. And when they initially unveiled the vehicle, they want to showcase the sportiest, most stylish trim level. In the case of the Sentra, that's going to be the SR trim. And overall, we have 4 trim levels to choose from for this 2026 Sentra. We have the base S model, the SV, the SR, and the SL at the top. These vehicles will be going on sale later this year, and the official pricing has not been released yet. But yeah, once again, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments regarding the way this new Sentra looks. It's got a really low coefficient of drag, between 0.26 to 0.28 depending on the trim. Nissan claims that nearly every part of the vehicle's exterior plays a role. The shaping of the trunk and the rear fenders, for instance, it helps to control the airflow and to reduce the rear wake behind the vehicle. The wheel opening areas have been reduced, and the side view mirrors are specifically shaped to reduce drag. Underneath, we have flat floor covers, and we have tire deflectors to further enhance aerodynamic efficiency. And clearly, all of that has worked due to the very low coefficient of drag numbers. And we do have 3 different tire wheel options for the Sentra. We have the 16-inch wheels, the 17s, and the 18s at the top. The base S model comes with the steel 16-inch wheels, but when you go up to the SV trim level, you do get the 16-inch alloy wheels as standard with the SV. And the SV is definitely one of the models that I recommend, and you will see why in a moment. And that bright kind of orange color that you're seeing, that's called Energetic Ember. Very bright, very striking. It's one of the 4 colors where you can also get a black roof with. Those other 3 colors include Aspen White, Bluestone Pearl, and Atlantic Gray, and of course this orangish color. So if you appreciate that black roof, those are your 4 colors you have to go with, but of course there are other colors you can get on this Sentra. Interior space has also been fully redesigned. As standard, we do get the 12.3-inch infotainment screen, and the base model S, it's going to have a 7-inch digital gauge cluster screen, but when you go with the SV trim level and up, you do get the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. So when you go with the SV and up, you're going to get that full kind of continuous large 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster plus the infotainment screen for that seamless look. So that's another reason why I like the SV. Also, it's starting with the SV models and up. That's where you get the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. If you go with the base model S, you get the wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Something to keep in mind there. And I do like the fact that Nissan has given us separate climate controls, but they are a touch sensitive climate control panel. It's not physical buttons and switches, so that's definitely a bit of a fail there, but at least it is separated. And overall, I do find the Nissan infotainment to be pretty intuitive and easy to use, so that's good. Nissan also claims that compared to the outgoing Sentra, the new infotainment display, it's actually 2 times brighter, so that's going to assist you in various lighting conditions. And Nissan does claim that this all-new 2026 Sentra, it will retain several core physical buttons, and that the display functions can be operated with the steering wheel mounted switches or by touching the center display, of course. And it seems like Nissan has gone with this 2-spoke steering wheel design. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's sort of okay for these kind of easy to drive compact cars, but in general, I do appreciate a 3-spoke design. Regardless, that steering wheel, it does sort of blend in with the center air vents. Overall, not a bad design. Very clean. As standard, you do get cloth seats with the S model, but something interesting to note, the SV trim level, it gets the quote-unquote upgraded cloth interior, so that's nice. I do like a cloth interior, but I appreciate the finer cloth, and I know Mazda does this as well with their kind of base models. They give you the cloth seats, but it's a really fine, high-quality cloth interior, and Mazda just gives you that as standard. They don't have like a cheap cloth and an upgraded cloth, but regardless, I mean, I just recommend the SV trim level anyway, so it's nice that you do get an upgraded cloth material. SR and the SL models, they come with a leatherette seating surface. Heated seats are apparently optional on every trim except for the SL. SL is the only model to have standard heated seats, and the seats are manually adjustable for both the S and the SV trim levels. Power adjustable seats are only optional starting with the SR trim, and it comes standard on the SL. S and the SV come with the 4-speaker audio system, although with the SV you are able to upgrade to a 6-speaker audio system. The SL trim is the only one that comes standard with the 8-speaker Bose audio system, but at least with the SR trim level, they are offering the Bose audio system as an option, so that's cool to see. Wireless charging pad is optional with the SV trim, and it's standard on the SR and the SL. Base model only comes with manual air conditioning. Automatic climate control becomes standard on the SV and the SR. If you like sunroofs, it becomes optional starting with the SV and the SR trims, and only the SL gets the power tilting glass moonroof as standard. And I do appreciate how Nissan gives us the useful safety tech features as standard, like the blind spot monitoring, but more premium safety tech features like the 360 camera, that becomes available starting with the SR trim, and it's standard with the SL. There's also a class exclusive 64 color ambient lighting that's available to us, so if you're interested in that, there you go. Regarding practicality, Nissan claims that the Nissan engineers paid close attention to the usability of the trunk. So this new Sentra, it's got one of the lowest trunk liftover heights in the class, and we have an optimized opening shape as well to get larger items like golf bags and strollers inside and out a bit easier. Very cool. I mean, especially in this SUV crazed world, I'm glad that the Nissan engineers really thought about that trunk and truly optimized it to make this vehicle a much more practical package for individuals looking for more affordable transportation, right? We also get the available Nissan Intelligent Key with the approach, unlock / walk-away locking. It's going to be standard on the SR and the SL trims, and it's optional with the SV. So this new Intelligent Key system, it automatically detects the key fob, unlocking the doors without the driver ever having to reach into their pocket or their purse. And then when you walk away from the car, the Sentra will automatically lock its doors. Also new for the 2026 Sentra, it's the MyQ universal garage door opener, allowing drivers to open, close, and check the status of their compatible garage door. It's going to be operated through the vehicle's infotainment system, and this MyQ feature can connect to and control up to 3 compatible openers. And there's also a geofencing function which allows the system to automatically show prompts to open or close the garage door when the driver approaches or departs from a safe location. These Sentras, they are rocking the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with the 149 horsepower and the 146 pounds-feet of torque. It does come standard with the auto stop start, which is unfortunate. This vehicle is efficient enough as it is because we have that Xtronic CVT transmission, which Nissan claims it is a proven transmission. And you know, the reality is the CVT has come a long way. And it's so interesting to me how it's only Nissan that gets flack for the CVT when Honda and Toyota also use one. It's a staple for compact cars. Why? Because the CVT helps these compact vehicles get really incredible fuel efficiency to the point where it's near hybrid levels of fuel economy if you are not an aggressive driver. Nissan claims that you can get about 28 to 29 mpgs in the city and between 36 to 38 on the highway. SR and the SL trim levels, these are the ones that get slightly worse fuel economy, but once again, you can probably exceed these fuel economy estimates in the real world. The coefficient of drag for that S and the SV trim levels, it's 0.268, and for the SR and the SL, it is 0.283. Very low, very impressive. Something else that's a bit strange is Nissan claims that the minimum ground clearance for the new Sentra, it's between 4.7 to 4.8 inches. That's lower than some Lexus performance cars. Like even my LC500 Lexus had a minimum ground clearance of around 5.2 inches. So no idea what's going on here, but okay. Going back to that CVT transmission, Nissan claims that this CVT has been retuned for the 2026 model year to deliver a more natural and smooth acceleration feel. We also have a new sport mode for the SV, SR, and the SL trims. It was tuned in the US for sharper throttle responses and more thrilling shifting patterns, according to Nissan. That sport mode is going to recalibrate the steering response, the transmission, and the throttle response. And Nissan also goes on to say that this all-new Sentra, it's going to be more enjoyable to drive while being quieter and more comfortable than the outgoing Sentra. So this new model, it features the independent strut front suspension and the multi-link rear suspension. And we also have standard rear disc brakes. And thanks to the significant reinforcement of the unibody, the all-new Sentra has 6% greater rigidity than its predecessor. The steering wheel features an enlarged dynamic damper that effectively reduces the road vibrations, ensuring a more composed driving experience. We also get a new shock absorber valving, which helps to reduce the impact harshness from bumps. And finally, engineers have reduced the size of body openings throughout the vehicle to help reduce sound levels. Okay, very cool. And of course, the SR trim, that's going to be your quote-unquote sportiest model, right? It's rocking the larger 18-inch wheels, whereas the SL trim level, that's more of your luxury model with the smaller 17-inch alloy wheels. And you have more luxurious touches and appointments for the interior, like the asymmetrical quilted tailor-fit synthetic leather seats, the ambient lighting that I talked about, and just naturally you get a fully loaded product when you go with the SL. And that's pretty much everything you need to know regarding the 2026 Nissan Sentra. Very nice improvements. I'm a big fan of the looks, but since you made it to the end of this video, here's how you can save 13% off the MSRP on the entire 2025 Nissan lineup. You can reach out to AutoCompanion, who is one of the largest car brokers in the United States. He has partnered dealerships primarily in the Washington, D.C. area, and on pretty much every vehicle from the Versa all the way up to the Pathfinder, he is offering about 13% off. Really incredible because in general, the Nissan vehicles, they do undercut Toyotas and Hondas regarding the MSRPs, and to get such a substantial discount on top is just really great to see. And some of these Nissans also lease out really well, like the Murano, definitely a go-to lease product. That SL trim level in particular, you can get that for around $400 a month. Really incredible. And of course, the Versa continues to be like the cheapest car in America. You're able to get 13% off on that. The outgoing Sentra, 13% off. And if you want a truck, same discount applies to the Frontier as well. So overall, I am a fan of Nissan products. They do drive really well. Very refined vehicles as well. Like for instance, the Altima is like one of my most favorite economy sedans to drive. It's just so good. And it's just a great, affordable vehicle that you can rock brand new under the warranty period. And then after that warranty is up, you can either choose to discard it, or you can even pay to extend the warranty because these are Japanese vehicles. It doesn't really cost a whole lot of money to extend the warranty. Definitely a pleasure to drive. Most of these vehicles are honestly more refined and more comfortable to drive than a lot of the new Toyotas, so there is that. But it's not just Nissan that AutoCompanion has to offer. He's got plenty of other makes and models. He does have Toyota discounts, Hondas, Hyundai, Kia, Volkswagen, etc. And also Mazda as well. Mazda is another go-to economy branded vehicle that I really appreciate. And he also has luxury vehicles like Acura, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, etc. And although these are some of the best prices in the country, AutoCompanion does charge a broker fee to access these deals. He did say that if you go on his website and you fill out an inquiry form, he did say that he'll take some money off of that fee, and I really appreciate him doing that for my audience. And if you're not local to DC, he does offer nationwide shipping. On some vehicles, it is definitely worth paying for the shipping as well, but it's certainly ideal if you can pick up in the DC area. Depending on the makes and the models, he might have dealerships in other areas like California, for instance, but it simply depends on what you're looking for. And keep in mind, things like the 13% off discount, that's the dealer discount off of MSRP. So they're already selling the vehicle under invoice. And also, if there's additional incentives that you qualify for, like military, or if you happen to lease the vehicle, those incentives are gonna stack on top of AutoCompanion's discount. So a lot of transparency here. It's simply a no headache way of purchasing a new vehicle. You're guaranteed to get big discounts, and you don't have to sit through any of the manipulation games. You don't have to worry about any junk fees being added on, like tint fees, nitrogen fees. Nobody's going to pull anything over on you, so that's really good. If you would like to use this service, I will have AutoCompanion's information in the description box below. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.